what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dunn show. Let's get right into it tonight. Shop talk. We're working right now on the Blazer brake booster. It's pretty much done as far as the brake booster goes. It's installed into the firewall. We just released that YouTube video on Outcast Services YouTube, so go check it out. That's YouTube episode 6 of the Blazer build. As soon as you go to our channel, it'll pop right up. If you've been listening, you should know all about it by now, guys. Electrical. Up underneath the dash, we started actually sorting and figuring out what all that mess goes to. It's a clusterfuck underneath the dashboard straight up. It's a nightmare. I don't know what people did, man. They tagged on to all kinds of different stuff. They tagged on to like the ignition for different accessories. They tagged into different like battery. They tagged into different fuses, twisted wires. It looks like they used some indoor electrical connectors. The radio is just wired. They literally used like the speaker wire that they used for this, man, was crazy. It wasn't even like real speaker wire. It was like I don't know. It was like a little mini, like a piece of vacuum cord or something. It was a trip, dude. So we're cutting all this shit out. We're cutting it out of there. We're getting rid of it. It's a done deal as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to replace what I can with new. And I'm just going to get a diagram and go right off of the fuse panel that's inside of the firewall there underneath the dash and just start tracing all the wires out. Trace it all back to factory. Anything that's not supposed to be there, I'm cutting it out, I'm getting rid of it, and I'm moving on. So yeah, that's going to be our main focus right now. As a matter of fact, that's what's kind of stalled us out on the CNC, guys, is because I have got to get this Blazer up and running, and I want to get the harness out for the engine that we have in there. I want to get all that stuff out, dude. I want to get it going, bro. But the thing is, with all the electrical the way it is underneath the dash, it's going to make it really difficult for me. I mean, I can't just slap all this nice new stuff in there with a bunch of the old stuff. It's just not going to work. It's going to be janky. I'm going to be fighting it, and I'm just going to start where I know I need to start, and I go kind of from there. You guys, it's one of those things where it's like, by no means is this an effort to milk this project out or to stretch it out, because if I looked up under the dash and was like, damn, hell yeah, everything was tied in place from factory where it was supposed to be, and everything was just basically exactly what it needs to be, then I'd be like, all right, cool. You know what? We can adapt to this. I can pull a diagram. I can tell you exactly what I need to do, and it's not a big deal. But unfortunately, it's not the case. And I get it, dude. It's a 78, and we're in 24. So yeah, it's been tampered with, dude. And this vehicle is off-roaded. I mean, the carpet in it, I'm running the shop vac, and I'm literally having to bang on the carpet to get the sand to pop up and vacuum it out, just so I don't get covered in this shit while I'm working on it. I'm probably going to actually end up pulling out all of the interior, the seats, the carpet, everything, and just get it down to a raw shell, because I need to see what they have going on underneath the carpet kit. I mean, there's wires going places, there's things going on. I'm probably going to have to cut the transmission tunnel so that I can adapt the new dual shifters for the new transfer case. So that's going to be what I'll do is I'll strategically cut the firewall so I can put the custom plate maybe off the CNC, and shape it in there so that all the shifters stick and boot and everything look really nice and clean on the transmission. I guess, what would you call that? I call it the firewall. Is that, maybe it's the, I don't know, the transmission tunnel, whatever. But yeah, basically cut that and make a custom deal in there, so there's something that even if they upholster over it, it's sturdy. It's not just, a piece of cardboard. And, I've seen shit, dude. But anyway, guys, so that's kind of where we're at right now. We're still, so main focus is on the Blazer. We're going to be focusing on that. As little other projects come in, we'll tackle them. We'll take care of them. I've been struggling right now with my shop truck a little bit, working on getting a few things. The parts that have been coming in are just janky and shitty. We'll get into that a little bit later in the show. Not a big deal. We're working through it. I still drive the shit out of it, so it's not like we're down and out. And it surprises me right now. What I'm noticing is that it's like everybody has an old school mindset about stuff, and they're real shocked about modern pricing and shocked about what it takes to get stuff done. But guys, if you look at it, perfect example, I just put a new alternator on a truck, my shop truck, a 2003. So it's an older truck, guys. It's 21 years old. That alternator is still almost running you $300 just for the alternator. So if you're like a repair shop, I guess you'd say, like a corner repair shop, like a mechanic shop, kind of a little bit different than what I do. I don't really take on like, hey, will you do my alternator? Or if I do, I'm not taking it on the way they do. And that same alternator, now that they get it out the door, shipped to them at a shop maybe for like $230, they're probably going to turn right around and charge you about $320 for that. Okay. And then it's probably going to be, it's 2 hours install. So if their shop rates say $100, $120 an hour, there's $250, boom. So you're about $550 to get an alternator done. $550, $600 to get an alternator done. I bought that alternator, and I probably had the old one pulled out. Had to take it in for a core charge, brought it back, put the new one in, and with going and getting it and everything within 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, shit, people are shocked when they hear these prices, but it's like, they kind of like don't bat an eyelash if it's your day in and day out thing. Like, oh shit, I took my Toyota Corolla in for an oil change. I had a headlight out, my brake fluid was down a little bit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And bam, they paid like a total of like $395 for one little tune-up on an older car. But then when they bring their hot rod in, or they want to get some work done on a custom vehicle, they're blown away at, damn, dude, this shit's expensive. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, it's expensive, bro. Because not only is it not your run-of-the-mill projects that typically all these shops work on, where, I can get an alternator in 20 minutes from the shop over here where I'm doing an A-arm conversion, a front suspension conversion on maybe like an old car that's going to get updated a little bit to a more modern front suspension. Maybe they're going to do a Mustang 2 in like a classic Chevy pickup. All right. Well, dude, you're not running to AutoZone. You're not doing none of that. So then now you're tacking a lot of times these shops will tack all of their time it takes to gather all the parts, everything, dude. Everything gets tacked onto the price of these things. So I try to tell people, look, I'm going to give you a really, really good product. I'm going to put some really, really good time and effort into your project and into your build. But I'm going to do it at a quality price. And what I mean, that's not like a good price. That's not a cheap price. That's not expensive. You're paying for what you get. You're going to pay a pretty quality price. And quite frankly, it's a lot lower than any shop you're going to go to. So I'm one guy. It takes me a little bit longer. But I also don't charge for every single hour of every single thing I do. When I'm running back and forth to hardware stores to upgrade to graded hardware and stuff like that, I'm not charging you for that stuff. I'm charging you for the hours I'm working on your vehicle and the stuff that I'm using. So I see how like an alternator at, Tim's Auto down the street can be $600. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So those are just things to look out for, man. I feel like people are very, very shocked with pricing on things when it comes to like the custom world, but then they're like kind of used to it on the consumer side. Like you go to the grocery store and if milk just all of a sudden is $15 a gallon, it's like, damn, man, like, all right, well, whatever. And it's like, okay, you're right. If you're going to make the decision to customize something or to get work done on something, yeah, you kind of have to like make sure that you want to fully commit and that you have the budget for it, because otherwise you get halfway into it and then you can't finish it or don't want to finish it, and now it's like all of that went to a waste. So before you take on a major project, just really look into the total cost of everything. And if you are going to upgrade something and you do get a good quote, a decent price, shop around a little bit. You know what? Hey, there has to be a markup on some of this stuff no matter what. No matter what I do, I have to mark up the price of stuff at some point. A little bit. Because otherwise, you're always paying that little bit here, that little bit of extra here. Well, oh, you know what? Well, I broke even on the parts here, even though I had to buy these valves. No, if the front and rear suspension for a vehicle, all said and done, is like around $1,850 from the manufacturer. You talk to them, you're going to get the kit shipped to you. Then quote the customer probably right around $2,200, $2,300 for just parts. Because by the time you buy additional fittings and you upgrade the panel wiring the way you want to do it, and then you install like a little bracket and you do all this extra stuff, that's where you'll lose money in the long run if you're not either upselling the initial part that you're going to install, knowing what you're going to need to use with it, or selling it to them for exactly what it costs and itemizing on their invoice exactly everything you use, from connectors to the steel, the spray paint, the primer, the duct tape. I mean, everything you use, then turn it around on them. So you kind of have to make that out. All right, what's the customer going to want to see? Are they going to want to see a pecking order? Like a list of just, damn, this dude charged me for every single thing. Like, I get it. Or does he want to just say, all right, cool, those parts were $2,200. His labor was this much. All right, yeah, that's cool. I'll go with it. See? So it all depends on the customer, and always have that as a backup. So if they come to you and they say, well, why is this kit this much? I mean, I get it, like shipping and everything, but you showed me the kit I'm getting, and I'll be honest, I've looked it up and I've seen the price, blah, blah, blah. And then you can turn around and then you have that ready to go. Well, say, look, man, here's how the invoice would have looked if I showed you every single nut and bolt. So I just upsell that a little bit, which I'm not upselling it. I combine my products, my parts, my additional everything I'm going to need, and just put it into one price right then and there. So that's something you can decide to do or not. It's worked out good for me. I almost never get a complaint on an invoice as far as like not enough of a description or whatever, because I really do break down my stuff pretty thoroughly, because it helps me when I look back at it, and also it helps them to understand exactly what it is they're getting without having to break down every single zip tie, nut, bolt, washer. You get what I'm saying, don't you? Do you get it now? Are you following along? Okay. So good intro here, guys. We're talking about the stuff going on in the shop. Okay, we want to get this blazer gone, and we want to get it back to the customer. He's ready. Believe me, I believe he drives up and down my street constantly, kind of looking. I'm playing. He doesn't. But yeah, it's good. It's a fun project, though. I thoroughly do enjoy it. And filming the YouTube videos has really like forced me to do a very thorough job while I do it too, which I think is kind of fun, because I'm like, it's tough to do stuff in front of an audience. Like, say you're at the golf course and you're going to tee off, or say you're at the golf course and you're going to tee off in front of a shitload of people. It's like, for some odd reason, we add this anxiety to ourselves, and it's so funny. So yeah, the camera kind of does that, believe it or not, even though it's just me in the shop there while I'm filming, working on this stuff. So I do enjoy it. So there you go, guys. It's going to be Blazer from here on out. I do have something from the CNC that's cut out that says Outcast. Check it out on the YouTube channel. Okay, it's right here, Outcast Services. And you guys will be able to see that. Check us out. See what you think. Okay? I've heard you heard about us. Let's move along a little bit tonight, guys. Let's move right along. What do we think about the Super Bowl that just passed by? I don't want to dwell on it. I was going to jump right on after the Super Bowl, but things got a little wild around here. I'm not going to lie. We had a great time. My parents came over. My wife and I, we hung out. We watched the game here, and it was a blast, dude. Had some really good food. It was a great game. It was a slower game, very defensive game. A couple of unfortunate fumbles to start, which really make you wonder how the game would have ended up. And it was that we predicted overtime. I felt it. I really, really, really felt overtime. I did. You know what? When it hit overtime, I just thought, all right, cool. 49ers are going to win it, guys. I did. I really thought the 49ers were going to win it just because they felt like the stronger team all night. It felt like they played well enough. I don't know what the answer was. I'm not a coach. I'm nothing. I'm a fan. I loved it. I enjoyed the game. I'm very disappointed for the 49ers, okay? But good for Kansas City. They did what they had to do, and they figured out a way to win. A little bit too much time there left on the clock. The overtime rules were very strange. Whatever. Things are constantly evolving and changing. I guess we just got to be ready for it. Kelsey, Reed, both sound pretty confident that they're going to come back next year. I remember we talked about that, I think, in like episode 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 about Andy Reid and Kels retiring. I do think they are going to be back, guys. How could you not try to go for a three-peat? I mean, you kind of have no choice, especially with Kelsey and this whole Taylor Love with the NFL, all this stuff. God bless us. It's going to be back next year, I can tell you right now. Kansas City might three-peat, guys, and if they do, that's going to be pretty damn cool for them and for their fan base, but it's going to be tough for the rest of the NFL. I mean, not to say that another team can't do that, because time goes so fast, 3 more years will go by, but, it is in New Orleans next year, and I think the Saints could possibly go to the Super Bowl next year. So let's see how that goes. And speaking of the Saints, we do have a little bit of NFL news tonight. We are talking a little bit of New Orleans Saints tonight. Derek Carr right now is still going to be the starting quarterback next season. It brings me a little bit of stress. I'm not going to lie. I like the guy, but damn, dude. Okay, let's see what he can do. With that being said, I'm hoping then if we're going to draft, I hope we draft some big boys, some offensive linemen, and maybe can make some deals and some trades and just build up that line. I think if Derek Carr is going to be our starting quarterback, he might just need a little bit more time back there in the pocket. He's not as much of a scrambler, and when the pocket collapses quickly, he panics. And so we'll see what happens with that. I don't really know our draft lineup yet. I got to start researching it. I'm just still getting over the Super Bowl wave and everything that went on with that, and the little unfortunate event that happened there at the Kansas City parade. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. So prayers to those people that they recover, and it's a tragedy that somebody had to lose their life over something probably so stupid that, a simple argument or whatever can turn tragic so soon. So hopefully we can find a way to get together as people and not have those types of things happen, and not let that be who we are as America, gender, race, whatever aside. Like, can we not shoot and stab and kill each other? I'm not sure if we're gonna draft a quarterback or not. I mean, it's hard to say. Shit, if we were gonna get one that was possibly available in the NFL, I would have liked to have seen Justin Fields maybe come over to the Saints. I wouldn't have minded seeing Justin Fields, in the old black and gold, throwing around the ball a little bit, running up and down the field, doing what he does. Possible trade rumors. What's going to happen with Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lattimore? I swear, I really, really hope we don't lose any of those three guys I just talked about. I don't know what's going to happen with Michael Thomas. He looked good the few games he did play this last season, guys. Alvin Kamara, though, possibly could get traded from what I'm hearing, but he could also just take a salary adjustment basically and go give us a little bit of cap space there, as well as Marshawn Lattimore. So we need these guys. What are we talking about? Really? Okay. New offensive coordinator Kubiak coming from the 49ers, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Again, we're a long way out. We won't even see real hard talks till maybe mid to end of July into August. You'll kind of start really hearing about the preseason stuff amp up. But I'm going to try to still keep a little bit of NFL love here and there, guys. But we will get into some NBA tonight right away because Lakers are on an upward trend. Look, we haven't talked since before the Detroit game, and we were hoping and praying for a little bit of an upward trend. We were pretty heavily favored against Detroit, even though they did come out and they played pretty well, as we thought they would. Asar Thompson had 19 and James Wiseman had 18 for the Pistons, and it was 125-111. Lakers did win. Anthony Davis had 20 points, LeBron James had 25, D'Angelo Russell had 21, and AR-15 had 15 points. So, they pretty much spread it out across the board there, doing what they could do and pulling out another win for us. So that's kind of nice. I like to see it. It's tough when we lose a game that we're favored to win. That's the worst. If we're the underdog and we come out and we battle, we do all right, and we end up losing, it's damn, it would be cool. It'd be fun to win as the underdog, of course. But all in all, hey, we picked it up. We found a way to win. We maintained a lead pretty much throughout that entire game. And then we had to go right away and play the Jazz. I didn't even get a chance to talk to you guys. We went right away to play Utah Jazz. LA was not favored to win this game. So again, like we just talked about being an underdog going in, no LeBron James either. Anthony Davis goes berserk, guys. 38 points with 15 rebounds. I mean, he went absolutely wild up and down the court. Lots of energy. I mean, he just played phenomenal. It's what you want to see out of Anthony Davis. Rui Hachimura, can we go ahead and say it, with 36 points is unbelievable. Shout out Rui Hachimura. Okay, still filling in for Vanderbilt, who I don't think will have an evaluation till February 22nd. So we might not see him for a minute. And I tell you what, Rui Hachimura continues to play like this, he's going to go ahead and continue to play straight up. Reeves also had 22 points in that game, and D'Angelo Russell had 17 assists. So these guys were balling out. Colin Sexton had 18 for the Jazz, and Jordan Clarkson, who was a Laker at one point, had 17 points for the Jazz. So that was a fun game. You know what? It was a blast to watch it. Little Valentine's Day Laker action. Had a blast. We had some lines out there. We did pretty good. Not going to lie, the last two games we're up right now, guys, so we're looking forward to that. I might put out some of my picks on the Instagram, so if you're following the Duntown Show on Instagram, I might throw. I did put my Super Bowl picks up there, and we broke even, so that was kind of interesting. I wished I would have done the going to overtime bet. I never even looked at it in the props, so that sucks, but that's all right. We'll get to it. And moving on from that Lakers game, guys, I believe, what do we got here? Golden State Warriors now. What do you guys think? February 22nd. So I don't think Vanderbilt plays this game, but he could be back. But Rui Hachimura did play really, really well in the last game. So we'll see. Either way, it's not a fret there because they're both great players. We played decent without LeBron, and I believe when we played, Boston without AD or LeBron. So the team does step up when needed. Okay, LeBron, he's still a man of many talents. He's playing his final years here. He's going to come out. He's going to put on a show when he can. But when he does sit, it's nice to see the team step right up. Anthony Davis looks like a great leader the other night. And it looks like the rest of the team plays pretty well with Anthony Davis as a leader as well. So that kind of makes it fun. Now, Golden State Warriors, guys, like I said, February 22nd at 7 p.m., okay? Now, LeBron James is a game-time decision, but everybody else is a go as of right now, which is great. So it could be a stacked house. That's probably going to be a fun game. The money line right now, LA is plus 130, so they are the underdogs. Golden State is minus 150. Total points over under 241.5 points. So it looks like it's going to be a high-scoring game as far as predictions go for that. I love that, dude, because I love watching Steph Curry play basketball, and of course the Lakers. So that'll be a great game to watch. So make sure you guys tune into that one and leave some comments, dude. What do you guys think? I know not a lot of you guys are even basketball fans or Lakers fans, but hopefully this message can carry out into the masses and we can get a couple in and kind of get some feed back and forth into the comments. I'm going to have some guests on that love to talk sports, so it'll be interesting to see me get bashed and see how little knowledge of sports that I really do have, because it's not a lot. I'm a fan, dude. I like stuff, bro. All right, moving on, guys. So tune into that game on the 22nd. The All-Star game, though, this Sunday, February 18th at 5 p.m. If you want to watch that, I know they're doing some stuff on Friday and Saturday as well, with like some of the other leagues and whatever. I think like the G League and stuff like that, and they're doing like a skills challenge. But the actual game itself is on Sunday. The Western Conference starters, you got Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic. In the Eastern Conference, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, and Jason Tatum. I don't know. You guys tell me who's going to win that. Can we please get a comment in the comments here about the winner of the All-Star game? Can someone tell us who's going to be it? Is it the West or the East? And will the winner of that tell us anything about this year's finals? Huh? Let's see. Let's see what they have to say out there. Wow, so that's going to be interesting. You know what? I can't wait to see that, dude. I hope they play hard. I hope they come out and actually play hard this year. I don't know. I heard there's some new rules. I didn't want to get into it. I didn't want to bore you guys. Not when there's MGA Tour to talk about. Next event for the MGA Tour, guys, is March 16th at 8 a.m. It's the Rebel Beach AM at Costa Mesa Country Club. You can register for that event. You'll be playing with the OCMGA if you register for that event on that date. Okay, so just go in and register as a guest. Basically, you're going to register as competitor. You'll see it right when you go onto the site. Click it, follow it, log it in. You got to get it done here soon because I believe it closes like March 2nd. So look at it, check it out, register. And if you haven't joined the MGA yet, dude, I'm done. MGA Tour. Go to the MGAtour.com. I'm on a putter hunt. I use a Gamer, high-end, very high-end, 2 for $100 at Dick's Sporting Goods about 2 years ago. It's like a semi-mallet style, very, very beginner, very low end, very low key putter, I'm done. I want something with some weight on the end of it. I want something that has, that feel, I like some of the Odyssey stuff. I do. I do want to go mallet. I'm not sure if I want to go full arm lock, give it the old steel belly. What is it? DeChambeau there, steel golfing. It works. I see it on like a weekly basis. It does work. I've tried it. It takes a minute to get used to, but I would like to go mallet. I did at one time right after the World Championship up there, man. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a custom Scotty Cameron. I don't care. I love golf. I'm addicted. I earned it, dude. I need it. I've been to a World Championship. Okay? No, you're not going to get a custom Scotty Cameron $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, or $1,500 sold. No, it's super expensive, and the more you do to them, the more they cost. So go online, go on eBay, check them out. You don't get to pre-try it, though. So for me, what I'm going to start doing, attention MGA, if I'm in your group from now on, don't be shocked if I grab you by the handle. I'm going to see if I can borrow your putter, and I want to try some putters, because a lot of you guys got some really, really cool putters out there. And you know what? Maybe that's how you do it. On the job training, you get out there, you try your buddy's putter. Hey, you know what? That works pretty good, dude. Oh, wait. I like the way that grip feels, but his putter is heavier. I like the more of a rounded mallet than a square. And you get to try all of these out on real life course. And basically, what do you have to lose, dude? Narrow it down. So take a few rounds and cut down on your putter hunt here by trying your buddy's putters. And if you're not in the MGA and you can't do that, then maybe you should either A, join the MGA, or go to like a Golf Galaxy or somewhere and just try the ones they have on display and kind of narrow it down that way, because that's kind of what I've had to do so far. PGA, what? We actually got a little PGA news, dude. Tiger Woods, he's teeing off this week. He teed off today at the Genesis Invitational. Okay, he scored a 72 for his first round, but apparently he was suffering some back spasms, and that's unfortunate. I'm sure he's been training and really trying to get loose and trying to get back into it. He seemed to be walking pretty good. He seemed to be hitting the ball pretty good, but you could kind of see that grimace a few times. One thing I've always about Tiger Woods for me is like, God, dude, the guy, it's like, it's unfortunate that he has as many injuries as he does, but it's like it's almost, does it add to his story a little or something? Because it's always like, as great as he is, and he was injured. It's like Jordan and the flu game, how that one game is talked about so much about Jordan. It's like, okay, Tiger Woods won the Masters and he had a full body cast on. Tiger Woods this and that, and he had like one leg. Now Tiger Woods is back, but his back is out. Like, God, I love the guy, dude, and he's the best that's ever done it. And until somebody beats him or beats his record, he is the GOAT. But I'm just happy to see him playing this weekend. It does always shine a pretty nice little light there on the old PGA. The old PGA. Because right now, the top people in the PGA, the leaderboard for the Genesis, Patrick Cantlay, he's -7 right now. Patrick Cantlay. And, I like Patrick Cantlay, but, dude, you know what? He's just very mellow tone. Doesn't speak like real, like he's not, he's not real excited. He's very low emotion, but a hell of a golfer. Cam Davis is at under 6 in second, tied with Luke List, Jason Day, all at -6 or under 6, and then Tom Hodge and Jordan Spieth are just back at -5. So they both all had a pretty decent start. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys there, all with a pretty decent start for the PGA. So they'll be teeing it off tomorrow, guys. If you want to see any of the coverage of that, I'm not sure if it's going to be on Channel 4 or on the Golf Network. I'm not sure. You'll have to check into that. The same with the Live Golf, which is coming up. The top 10 players right now for Live: Dustin Johnson, Taylor Gooch, Peter Uihlein, Matthew Wolf, Graeme McDowell, Paul Casey, Jason Kokrak. Who else do you got? Jason Kokrak, John Rahm. You might have heard of John Rahm. He's up there in the top. You got Sebastian Munoz and Adrian Meronk. Followed right behind is Bryson DeChambeau. So the next event there for the Live is going to be the Royal Greens, and they're calling it the Jeddah, and that's March 1st through the 3rd. So I'm sure you'll be able to find that on the C-Dub or possibly even Channel 5, I believe it is. And you'll be able to look into some of that stuff. Now, I wanted to finish up with the Keeper Sweep, guys. I didn't forget about the Keeper Sweep segment. I touched on it a little bit earlier with the whole pricing of stuff. I am going to sell the quality of stuff, and I'm going to run us into our Keeper Sweep segment, and I'm going to sweep auto part prices with the quality of the part. And what I mean by that is, dude, I'm not kidding you. I'm chasing pulleys right now for a particular vehicle I'm working on. And I'm literally going... It doesn't matter if it's a Duralast from AutoZone or a Murray, whatever it is, from O'Reilly. You know, dude, they're not doing it. They're not the same as the factory ones. And then let's say you're getting those for $25 to $35 at one spot. Then at the other store, okay, give me your best one you have is $50. When you compare them side by side, it's the exact same bearing manufacturer, bearing everything, just in a different packaging. But then if you want to go to, like, let's use Dodge as an example, and you want to go buy a pulley for that Dodge through Chrysler Dodge, that pulley's now $120, okay? And I'll be damned if I buy a $120 pulley and it comes with that same bearing, dude. I'll shit myself. Okay, so we're sweeping overpriced, cheap auto parts. I get it, guys. It's bad enough. That's why sometimes to pay up a little bit and have a shop do your shit, at least they have to stand behind it. So if that alternator that we talked about that cost you $600 now, all of a sudden it ain't doing it, guess what, Tim's Auto? I want my mother alternator fixed right now. So I get it, guys. Stay low, stay tight. Canadips. Great product. We're trying their new Ripper line here. They've had some of these out now for a while. Check them out. They are infused, but the best part is, guys, there's no nicotine, no tobacco. I haven't had a single pinch of long cut in now almost over, what is it? Almost a full week now, guys, of talking to you guys about Canadips. So shout out to them. They're a great product. I'm excited. Get yourself some used golf clubs and get out onto the course. Spring is coming, okay? So any size, shape, any gender, any race, any way, anyhow can play golf. I swear it's the best of the best sports. It loves everybody. It loves all of us. Get out there, start swinging a club. You know, a bucket of balls is like maybe $10-12 at your local course. You get some used clubs there at the Goodwill for $3 and $4 a piece, maybe even at yard sale day. And you head out there and you just try to hit the ball off the ground. Don't worry about nothing else. Get out there, have a good time. Believe me, there's a lot of guys in the league where that's after about 10 years, that's still all they do. All right, well, thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in tonight to the Duntown show. I hope it was a decent show. Not too much action going on right now, but we're building a really, really good show coming up for you guys. So stay tuned for that.